Babbling Heads Podcast.
Yeah, this is the Babbling Heads Podcast. I am Nantal.
I'm the base 187. We've got Adrian Kearns, Mr. Kearns behind the decks today. Unfortunately, Charlie X2C has got a family emergency that he needs to attend to. Okay, so today we are hosting Wellness and Recovery 1-on-1. We have Kirsten and Calandra in studio. So, Nantal, you came across him?
Yeah, so a couple of weeks, I would say a month ago, I had a bit of a scare. I was like feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? And I had to go to the doctor for a PDP, but I had to, if you go, you have to give blood or whatever. So luckily for me, the doctor I've been seeing him for years already, and he discovered sugar in my blood. So I was like, Nantal, why is there sugar in your blood? You're supposed not to have any sugar. Anyway, we went to the test and whatever, and the last time we did the blood test, whatever, was last year. Yeah, last time. And I had to go again, and then he told me, dude, you're on the brink of diabetes. And for me, it was a shock because I felt on top of the world, you know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking a lot of people have it, or a lot of people is about to have it, but we don't.
Yeah,
you don't know.
They're not aware.
You know what I'm saying? Because I can say before that, I would feel like if I don't eat, I'll get like a dip, a heavy dip, like energy wise. But I mean that I just work around it, man. So I thought I'll have you guys in just to give us the rundown. So let's start with just telling us who you are and what you studied so far and stuff like that.
Okay. So we are biokineticists. We study the functional movement and also help with chronic disabilities in clients. So chronic disabilities and diseases such as diabetes, heart diseases, cholesterol, all those metabolic syndromes. And then also functionally, we work with people so to get them back into, if they have an injury, to get them back into their sport-specific exercise or return back to their normal day. Yeah, that is what we do. Kirsten, do you want to emphasize on that?
So I decided to actually go into it because I grew up with my grandmother. And my grandmother was like, normal colored grandmothers have suiker pilletjie, hartpilletjie, cholesterol pilletjie and stuff like that. And in the community I grew up in, we didn't know that about exercise, man. We just had PT in school. So that hour, you just exercise. Other than that, you just play with your friends outside, But our grandparents didn't know. They don't know about going to gym and eating healthy. It's always rice, vlees, aardappels, stuff like that. That's the norm. So as I was getting older, I was like, I actually want to understand why these diseases come in and how exercise actually has such a great impact on it that you don't need to take tablets. Like if you have high blood pressure, you don't need to be on medication if you are exercising.
Okay.
Because it has a much better effect. So I was just like, I don't want to be that type of woman that's going to have to take a tablet for everything.
Yeah.
So if I can initiate people to start exercising and working out and understanding what's going on in your body and how working out can actually, counteract all those things, then I feel like I've done something right.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. I forget to take tablets, man. I'd rather have rather give me something like, okay, this is how crap I am. Something for 3 months, then I have to take every day, man. So exercise for me, the thing is, the beginning it was a bit hard. It was like hard for me, but now I was like today I told myself, okay, 20 minutes on the treadmill. Then I put on like a Rocky.
I have the tiger.
Or whatever. Do some 35 minutes. But I'm not running. I'm running and walking because apparently walking is actually better for weight loss than running.
It depends. So running can add a lot of impact on your body, on your joints. So if you want to start off walking, a light walk, light jog, that's also good. And then take it up. But also what you're doing with interval training, that's nice. So you're breaking it up, doing a walk, a jog, a run, that sort of thing, going back.
My understanding is that when you run, that your body releases serotonin, like the stress hormone.
Yes.
So then your body goes into a not a shock, but it's like it holds on to the fat. It doesn't want to let the fat go, type of thing. That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's.
So it does. It does release serotonin levels, but serotonin levels is actually what you need to deal with your stress and let's say anxiety, that sort of thing. So it's a natural form of
So
serotonin levels. So people who, let's say, suffer from anxiety, take anxiety tablets to help boost those serotonin levels. Exercise is just your natural form.
What is the stress hormone?
Stress hormone
Sorry,
is your...
it's not serotonin.
It's not serotonin.
With a C.
I think you can Google that.
No, not a why can't I say it?
But I think I said it wrong.
Yeah, serotonin isn't your stress levels.
It starts with a C, man.
What is it?
Why can't I think about it now?
But my understanding is when you run, you get the stress hormone, and the stress hormones.
No, think about it like this: your body has flight or
Flight.
fright. Yes.
Fight or flight, yeah.
Or flight. So when a dog is chasing you, you are running. You like.
It's cortisol.
Cortisol.
Thank you, Google. Dr. Google.
Google.
I told it starts with a C, and you.
Okay, so I'm wrong. So I'm wrong.
Not
So
serotonin.
it does release stress, but I mean, your body. Sometimes your body doesn't know the difference. Like if it's running for your life or you are running now.
That's the thing.
Normally.
Yeah, everybody's
know.
body's gonna react differently to stress. Some might lose weight, some might gain weight. You know, so
Yeah.
even
But at least,
there are people who have been running for 3 years who don't lose weight.
yeah.
Where you get a very skinny person who's been running and they are all,
And your this is also my understanding. And in males, your testosterone level also. Because the older you get, it's harder for you to lose weight because your
definitely.
testosterone
Hormones
It can.
Yeah.
And now with women now again it's the whole estrogen thing and they
go through menopause.
and
Yeah. Try
Signs of
just
life.
Be closer to the mic, thanks,
Oh.
man. But nowadays you get like the testosterone replacement therapy and stuff like that. But it's a bit expensive. But you get that avenue to venture also.
Absolutely.
Do you wanna?
Yeah, just for me, like, what is the feasibility or the reality of having a healthy diet plan when you are growing up in the Cape Flats? There's limited resources, limited income. So for a lot of people, it might be baked beans, eggs, that garlic bologna. That's your diet. I mean, and I work with a lot of kids on the Cape Flats, and what we're seeing a lot is that once a month, as Sasa income, I said, okay, now it's Kentucky for that.
Yeah.
But that might be the only time you're seeing, and it's usually the fried fatty foods and it's quick food. So besides the exercise route, how do we instill a sense of eating healthy and working around? I know there's quite a few Emil's busy with the Grow project, like where you're teaching kids how to grow their own vegetables, etc. So how do we realistically implement something like that in poorer resourced areas where we're encouraging people to eat more greens, etc.? Because like Nantal said, he's on the cusp of being diabetic. Me, unfortunately, I fell into that because of an unhealthy lifestyle. It was also high stress environment, events, tours, etc. And coming back from a tour, I realized, hey, one thing you failed to mention as a sign of diabetes was a frequent urination at night. And that for me was like weird. It's like, yo, why am I going to the toilet so much? Like almost on the hour. And that is where I thought, okay, no, wait, night sweats, etc.
The blurry vision also?
Yes.
The blurry
Yes,
vision, yeah.
yes.
I've actually figured out, like, I used to get like these lines, like I sneezed or coughed too hard, and then I used to get like this, like streaks across my vision. So it wasn't like blurred, but it was like, I'm thinking, yo, what is this 60?
But are you the mushroom?
But yeah, and that was a very rude awakening, and it's like, but still, it's like to change your whole lifestyle, eating healthy, exercising, still not in me. And it's like I'm 5 years now that I have diabetes type 2, but I try to mix it up. And also tablets, I suck at tablets. I actually need something that's either in my food or whatever, but me taking a pill every morning or twice a day is forget.
So I did my honors paper on the low income community, Clittersville. So we did a study on like the people who have heart problems, diabetes and things like that. The thing is, it's a great initiative to want to change how people are eating, but then you're going to have to give them jobs and give them more money.
Yeah.
So
And that is whole political. That's a whole political story.
So there needs to be a holistic
Yes.
approach to it.
Absolutely.
There has to be, and the thing is, you can't. I mean, look how much apples cost. I'm just saying how much healthy food costs in the shop. If I'm going to give someone like who's from less fortunate background an apple, they would rather want a packet of chips. This is not from experience. You drive past someone, they don't want the apple or banana. They want bread or chips and stuff like that. But you can't blame them. So the only way we could approach it is by making them exercise, so that we can take their blood pressure, their measurements over a few weeks or so, because that is the only way you can approach it. without being too political. Because SASSA is not going to give them more money.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And there's how many people living in a household. So are you rather going to buy a couple of loaves of bread, or you're going to buy a pack of apples and a pack of bananas that's going to be up in 2 days because they get rotten?
Yeah. So you're saying rather add
What you
the
can
exercise.
change. Yes, what you
Definitely.
can change.
'Cause you
You
can't-
can't
won't be
change the salary. You can't change the way that things have been doing. But what you can change, you can help them exercise properly, more frequently, and in that their thoughts, their mind, everything will be more energized. They would want to actually say, I don't. When I eat this, I don't feel good. When I eat the KFC, I don't feel good because I've been running now, and exercising.
Exactly.
Yeah, and exercise is not just for diabetes, like
For everything.
it's for everything, like
for
stress,
everything.
like anxiety, depression.
Definitely. We actually say exercise is medicine. We believe in
The
that
Babbling-
strongly.
Okay.
That
we
is
babbling?
what biokinetic stands for, like life through movement.
Okay.
We don't believe in the medication and things. We use exercise as an approach to everything.
So tell me, when say you diabetic from you got diabetes. Okay, first explain what's the difference between
Type 1 and type 2.
type 1 and type 2 and
Type
on the
1 is you usually born with it. Or not born with it. It's more frequent
in
young people.
adolescents, children.
That's like when your body doesn't produce any insulin. So they have these injections.
Yeah.
But type 2 is when there's too much sugar and then your body doesn't know what to do with it. Now you take a tablet to neutralize it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just type 2 is more of a resistance where your body cannot take in that insulin that you're producing. So now you have an overload of insulin and that's causing all these symptoms.
Yeah. Well, I got the fright was when my doctor told me, Nantal, you need to take this serious, because if you continue on this journey, everything he describes to me, prescribes to me, will be affected by it. It affects everything, every organ in your body. So I was like, fuck, let me rather just get my Rocky on and then. But tell me, what is the difference between
Physiotherapist.
and a chiropractor and what you guys do? What's the difference between the three?
A physio does initial therapy, like manual therapy. There's 4 phases, so they do phase 1 and phase 2. That is when the client has just got the injury now. It's red, it's
Out of the
swelling.
hospital,
out of
straight.
the hospital, straight to the physio. The physio then, when she's done, getting you to move, because now remember your arm's broken, you can't move it. She gets you to a normal range of motion. After that, she refers you to us, and we get you back onto playing tennis or whatever you were doing.
So, okay.
Yeah.
And a chiropractor just cracks you.
Manipulates,
Alignment,
alignment and manipulates the body just to
Okay, cool.
release.
Do you wanna?
No. I'm just thinking of 2.5 men.
Oh, Ellen.
I know Ellen sees
Yeah.
not a real doctor.
Yeah. But they do get the DR. The chiros do get the DR, like the dentists. Also
They get it.
a doctor
Yeah.
in front of
They
their
have that
names.
title,
They
yeah.
have that title.
This is the other problem that I had. Since I've started this thing, last year I did the banting thing, right? But I did the full on banting, but it's too expensive, man. So now what I did now is I try to do the banting like a normal diet, but I try to kick the carbs and stuff like that. But for the first 2 weeks it was fine, but then I started just being extremely drowsy.
Yeah.
And not drowsy, but I don't smart to exercise, whatever.
Energy is low.
Yeah, so I added the wraps. You know the wraps that you put your stuff in? But I did the white wraps, but they said rather stick to the brown one. But I've got the piece, the
packaging.
wrapping. But so my question is, how much carbs? Because I can clearly see I need carbs in my life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So true.
So is it? No, but I feel.
Let me just say,
crappy.
so there's been so many studies where everyone's basing on a low carb, high protein diet. But I mean, to live long and healthy, it's been shown that you actually need a lot of carbs, you know? You need that sustainability in your body as well, especially if you're active throughout the day and you exercise and you're using up that energy, so it's fine. So
But if you're not using the energy, you're going to end up being fat, getting all these diseases. Because you're not using that energy that's produced.
also with banting, I mean, it's high fat. Later on in life, you got to think, you know, sometimes that fat is going to build up. And then we also
still
have a
gonna
video
have
coming up
cholesterol,
about cholesterol.
So you anti-banting.
Anti. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
My thing is like everything in moderation. You should be fine. If you're gonna restrict yourself
That's the
somewhere,
thing.
you're gonna want to make up for it somewhere else.
If you want a quick fix, go for it. Do the banting and then finish and then, carry on with your healthy lifestyle.
But what about 10 years down the line?
Yeah.
You're gonna get bored of banding and be like, I don't smoke for this anymore.
Yeah.
What is gonna be good for you long term? It's not about what's good for him. What is gonna work for you? His family history is different to yours.
Yeah.
His DNA is different to
Yes.
yours.
Thank God for that.
So
And so while we're talking about diet-based plans, what is the significant difference between the keto plan and banting?
I don't see much of a difference. Because
Keto
they're both
is
high fat.
Keto is more protein. Am I correct?
Yeah, it's more protein.
Keto is more protein. Banting is more high
Like
fats.
let go of the carbs. Banting is like no carbs. I
So,
think.
so keto and I think is protein and fat.
Protein and high
Correct.
fat, yeah.
Yeah. We're actually speaking out of our field now. Because
Yeah, one thing I want to tackle in terms of like, because released a diabetes video, one of the side effects is the neuropathy, the numbness and tingling.
Definitely.
And it's like been hectic for me in terms of like you'll get sudden spasms and it's like it's freaky. It's like your muscle will just like
But
jump.
when do you know it's normal? Because
It's not normal.
I mean, say if I sleep like this with my hands like this,
It gets numb.
it gets numb. Isn't that should be normal, right?
That is normal.
That's
Even
normal.
when
Pins
I
and
sleep.
needles, like
But
blood.
so you get it like just normal. Like.
If he's
No, like
moving-
there'll be certain areas of my body, it's like under the right foot, like the pad, that's numb.
neuropathy.
It's like check, and then you'll like certain areas maybe get like a burning sensation. So it's
I
weird.
had December I had a very long walk with my dinges on with my DJ bag,
Yeah,
and this arm just went numb. Dude.
Numb.
But that's normal. It should be normal because
it's because you.
Just
I think you
restricting the blood
restricting
flow.
the blood flow. Yeah.
because I don't know I don't know because I panic sometimes when I see okay this is a symptom and how it plays in my mind. Oh fuck, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know when is it normal and when.
I want to ask you a question. Before you went to the doctor, you said you tested yourself a year before that. So what about your lifestyle changed?
I was
during that
banting then, and I wasn't really exercising that much, but I was banting. I was full on. I was.
So you got
So
no
you
benefit from the banting?
No. I actually lost weight since I.
You do, yeah.
Since I stopped banting, I gained about five kilos. So there's definitely a difference.
Yeah.
But the thing is, everybody was banting in the house, man.
Yeah.
So now.
It makes it easier if everyone does.
Yeah, and then when my wife decided to check here, she smacked me with dinner, and then and dinges happened also, lockdown.
Oh yeah.
And when we went to go shopping, it for me like Cremora. That was the mistake, dude. Because I would take it, and at say 10 o'clock I would make a cup of coffee. Then say an hour later I would get like anxiety, like, and if I stop that, I'm fine. It's weird, but it's so weird for me that I'm so like old, and I'm only learning my body now, man. I'm only learning to listen to when that happens, this.
Yeah.
So tell me, how many carbs can I have, man? Say if I have a brown wrap, no? Say I have a brown wrap obviously with lettuce and all the greenery and stuff,
Yeah.
and
Protein,
and
whatever.
steak
Protein,
or with protein. Can I have like say one for supper, one for breakfast, lunch, and supper, or was that too much?
That's a bit too much. I mean, it also depends how much you're exercising.
Okay.
So if you can balance the two, then you...
If your calorie intake is less than your calorie expenditure, then you will. But like we said, this is not in our
In
this
your
is
field,
dietitian's thing. She will
Yeah,
know
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
for you what.
Yeah, maybe you guys
Exactly
can
how
hook us up with a
many
dietitian also. To
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Because
We
we
know.
don't want to speak out of turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
no,
the
no,
thing.
no,
We
respect
don't
that,
speak
yeah.
out of turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's already a big battle for us to be recognized by people. Because
Even
we are-
physios don't like us.
We are overshadowed by physios and
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Serious.
Yeah.
it's
a big...
it's like a thin line between what we do and
Yeah.
what we
Must
can't
write
do.
the
Yeah.
battle raps, man.
Lip sync battle.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, you just like go if you want to know for your body type what you should be eating. Then you go to a dietitian.
Dietitian,
She's gonna say this is how much protein, this is how much there.
And we'll put you on
That's
an
how it's
eating
gonna
plan.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
just for you.
but how will that life be, man? To count everything you eat.
It's
that's
only
a bit.
Way less, man, bro, way less.
You know, rather spend 30 minutes on the treadmill. You know what I'm
And
saying?
eat what you want.
I'll do an hour then rather do that.
Yeah, and
you
eat
can
what
do
you
10
want,
minutes, 10
really.
minutes, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, 10 minutes at night if you want to break it up. But I mean, don't just do cardio, do weight
No,
training.
I do weights as well.
We've got-
Here's the other question. I'm doing weights now, but now when you do weights, your arm stands like this, man. And you look. We took a pic last week. Dude, I look kakoni and that.
It's water, Calandra.
Yeah,
It's
water
built up in the
retention.
muscle, yeah.
So how do you straighten your arm? How do you? Because it looks stupid, man.
Stretching. You need to sports massage as well is good, just to flush out all the toxins, that you build when you exercise.
So how do I do that?
You need to get someone
Get
to.
somebody to-
Yeah.
You need to go for a sports massage.
Watch him as Rabia out.
Yeah, but it's not therapeutic. It's actually painful because of all the toxins that build up in your
It's
muscles.
not a normal spa
not a-
massage.
no.
It's
It's
intense.
anything but that. Yeah.
Okay.
I check with Kaylin. She should be able to.
Kaylin?
Kaylin van Jerome.
Okay.
She's got a massage studio. So she should be able to cap with that.
But I don't smack the pen. I'd rather look cool.
But then you're gonna be 10 years from now. Your arm's gonna be like you can't move your arm. You must think about these things.
Yeah.
It's like 30 minutes of being in pain, but for you're gonna be sustainable for longer.
It's going to help with your exercising as well. You're going to be able to
Yeah.
exercise better, lift your
Okay.
weights better.
What do you call that? When you stretch them?
Pilates.
Yoga. Does yoga help?
Excellent. It helps, but
yeah.
it's not as effective as sports massage. Like we're gonna get right into the muscles, release the tension, that sort of
Yoga
thing.
is just stretching, where sports massage is like you
Trigger points.
trigger pointing
in
all that pressure
muscle,
out of the
yeah.
muscle itself, not
Deep
stretching
tissue
it.
type of thing.
Yeah, you like da 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 da.
Swedish. Swedish massage. So, biokinetics, you said it's like there's 4 phases, and you guys do the latter.
Two.
The latter two.
Last two.
The last two.
Yes.
So, what does that all entail? Just like working out exercise programs, etc.
Yeah, we prescribe exercises specific to the person. So if you have an injury, there's also phases within that. So there's phase 1, 2, 3, 4 within that. Obviously, we'll get a bit of background from where they came, like if they saw a physio, if they, just need to be strengthened. Then from there, we will do machine work with them, like that. That's the end goal. And then go into a functional thing like squats. Everybody sits, they stand,
Yeah.
so simple things like that.
Yeah.
And I think everybody in their life at least needs to see a bio once in their life.
Yes, because you don't know why is my knee hurting. Then you find out, oh, it's because my hip.
Definitely a
Oh, it's
functional
because of
thing.
my back. Oh, it's my shoulder, because your whole body is like a chain
Wow.
from
Yeah.
top to bottom. And I have flat feet, so automatically my
Everything.
knees are hurting all the time when I'm running because my knees are turned like this. My feet are flat, so there's no arch. The
Yeah.
arch is like down, which means my knees
Causes the
are
knees to
turned-
fall in.
Yeah, knees fall in, my hips turn in. You know?
Okay.
Hips
It
don't lie.
all- it all forms part of
Yeah.
the chain. So when you go to a bio, we make you stand at this the posture analysis sheet
Yeah.
where there's like lines across and lines horizontal, and then we can see about which shoulder is dropped, which hip is dropped. Like, is your knees forward? Is your knees to the back? All this thing. Is your
This reminds me of when we started recording the podcast. I would see that the outtakes, and then if I get up, I would get up with my like a pregnant female. I would get up like that, but then I start doing weights and running. So now it's almost like even when I get out of the bed, I put my foot
Yeah.
down and I concentrate on that to lift me up.
So
and I
even
did it
every
unconsciously. I did it unconsciously. I didn't specifically think of that. But
Your body
but
will
just-
tell you,
Yeah.
you're doing something wrong.
But a squat alone is like for that, for getting out of bed, for sitting in bed, for sitting in a chair, for getting out of a
Everybody
chair.
does it.
If
Yeah.
you do a squat all the time, you're not even aware of it.
I think it was like the subconscious things that we do. I mean, even like in the hip hop industry, we were coming up 80s, 90s. It's like the thing was always have a heavy backpack. It's like your whole life is in that backpack. And it's like we don't realize, just like listening to this now, you realize like how much shitty habits we have, and
Yes.
it's actually contributing. I mean, the way we used to, how do we say, the walk we used to do in the cave placement. They still almost. So it's like you're actually like doing it abnormal,
Yeah.
the abnormal thing,
sure.
and you'll only like seeing the ramifications of it later on in life.
Yes.
It's like now you got a hip problem now because you
Because you put too much pressure on that, you're trying to roll.
They roll was now.
I think the B-boys probably know more about the physical stuff, but they never was.
Yeah, that's the thing is like a lot of guys, like if you're looking at Michael Jones, who was in the first Black Noise, he had to go for a neck operation because of the head spins.
Sure.
So it's like we work, basically one of the event organizers for the African Hip Hop Indaba, South African Breakdance Association. So we've been sending teams over to international events for the past 20 years. But you don't, like, you only pick these things up later on. And when you're young, you're willing to do everything, like, all these crazy insane
Neil's
moves.
got back problems, huh?
He had sciatica.
So,
He's recovered. Luckily, he didn't have to go for surgery for that. But I mean, it took a lot of intense therapy,
Yes, so that's very
medication,
painful.
and it was
Very
freak painful. But he opted not to go for surgery because once you cut, it's like you can never quite repair that. So yeah, there's a lot of things, like especially like extreme sports, the industry that we're involved in. It's like these things pack up, and like injuries, you might walk it off, go for some therapy, whatever. But you just, because of the nature of this is your 9 to 5, and how do we then like for you guys as biokinetics, would you then rather encourage people to rather leave this particular, if the art form or the work that they're doing, the 9 to 5, is hazardous in the long term? Would you advise them rather to step back from that, or look at strengthening exercises that you could rather use or adapt,
Work around it. Absolutely.
Because the thing is also, breakdancing or breaking is now an Olympic sport. So come 2024 and 2022, we'll have the Youth Olympic Games and the Paris Olympics. So also, like, because we're starting the South African Breaking Association, which will become a national body, how do we incorporate biokineticists into that? Because we got a chiropractor. So how do we like create a program that is suitable now if you're looking at training kids from a young age upwards? So what core strengthening abilities? Because South Africa will be represented internationally. But now we need to look at ways, how do we do this holistically with I would say, age-specific exercises or routines that they can do to strengthen themselves so they can have a career in the sport and trying to mitigate injuries along the way. So like just that's for me just an offshoot, a long-term plan as to how to do this in a healthy manner. It's like we say, we're setting up a eating plan. If your core thing is going to be athleticism, stretching, yoga, Pilates, certain exercises, what diet to follow, I think like we need to unpack this also. Maybe that's a conversation for another time.
No, I think it can work. I mean, if you look at it like any other sport, you train in for a big competition or the Olympics, you break it up into different ages, and from there you can do group training with them. Like maybe once a week they see a bio, and then the rest of that they practice, they're doing their routines. So if you find a routine like that for them, I'm sure you can make it work. Like there's definitely a market for that.
If you think about the type of movements that breakdancing people do, they are like, each joint is like
It's popping.
Folding down. I can only do it the side. If you think about it, it's each joint, like, you're going through a vibration of each joint, but it's going to work the same as any other strengthening program. You're going to check, you're going to assess the client the same way. They're going to stand in a posture analysis sheet. You're going to see, okay, this person's back is a little like this, his shoulders a bit forward. And
I would say the power moves is the most strenuous on the body, no?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, popping shouldn't be really, no?
Popping, waving, cramp, not so much. I think it's more stand up. But I mean,
Terry had a knee problem.
Yeah, he popped his knee. I think he damaged the cartilage in his knee. So that was quite I think an ACL.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Probably from a lot of impact.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of impact.
Yeah.
But now he jumped off the stage, man. And he landed incorrectly.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
And it was just like before a major production.
So I mean, that's where we come in, and we can help and do box jumps and that sort of thing with them, just to help make them stronger.
Like the functional stuff.
Yeah.
But that's where the strength is important. Like, if he would have went to a bio, the bio would have seen, but your knee is like placed not nicely for you to be susceptible for that type of injury. So then they would have already strengthened that leg and that knee, so that it's not maybe in such a way that it could be impacted when he jumps.
Yeah, but that's also alluded to my previous question, is like, when these guys do this is their 9 to 5. So obviously a lot of times they're putting their lives and health at risk, and there's not always a sustainable plan or like financial management to say, okay, I got money to come see a biokineticist or to see a chiropractor. It's like, nah, I'll just walk it off a bit deep, whatever. And this is the reality. I mean, these guys work blood, sweat and tears. This is their lives. But yeah, you mentioned you did your masters in Clittersville.
No, my honors.
Your honors in Clittersville. Are you from Clittersville?
No, but I did mine at Stellies.
Okay. No, because I'm just thinking of Peter Kuras. He's a b-boy out in that side, in Clittersville.
I'm a little bit serious now. Just speak louder.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Because I don't have a mic.
Yeah.
So, I used to work in the health department, and I know these physios, and there's a spectrum of services available in the public health sector. I have never heard really a lot of this particular field in the public sector. I know in the private sector this is available, and I just want to know, like, from your side, what you're doing right now. I don't fully understand. Are you trying to, how can I say, engage with people that can't afford the service necessarily? That will go to the public sector, to a hospital. I work in a hospital, for example.
They in this for the money, dude.
No, man. Like, and I'm just asking.
They need to make paper.
I listened to what you were saying, that you know what the background is to why people do things in a particular way, right? We all know that. We're poor or whatever. And they use the public.
Didn't have to say it like that.
There's a day hospital, my mom goes there, they say, take your tablets. We know for a fact my mom's going to take her tablets until they should die.
Yeah.
So we don't offer the services where we can actually mitigate it, or to a least extent make them, healthier. So my question to you is I don't know what things.
Or
How is your what you're so busy with? How is it going in that route?
That's where we fall short. So you're right when you say we're more in the private sector, but we also fall in short there because medical aid is not really recognizing us that much in terms of they've seen physios more important than us. You know,
wow.
We more as a luxury, basically. But I mean, you do
That's
get.
sad, actually.
It's very.
It's been, like I said, it's been a battle. You know, when before we got into honors, we were like, oh my word, we want to do bio.
Yeah, we were so excited for it.
Do you laugh like
that?
that?
Yes. Like I'm saying, me and Calandra we graduated
from first year we've been.
Then we were like, yo, are we good? What are we gonna do?
What now?
What do we do with this now? We're like, no, bio's the way because it's either biokinetics or there's high performance. High performance is like, okay,
strength and conditioning, coaches, that sort of thing.
That. And we were like, no, we want to be with therapy, with people breaking their legs. We want to be with this type of people. But then we didn't know it's going to be such a battle.
Sure.
Like, we can't even get employed at a government institution.
It's so difficult.
They will rather take a physio or OT because it's initial therapy. When the person is now hurt now, they can see a physio now. They can't see us because we need to see you when you are better.
Yeah.
But then again, we are the ones who are long term.
Yeah. So you, if I go to see you, I will avoid seeing a physiotherapist later.
You don't have to go back to the physio again. That's the point.
Yeah.
You're gonna when you refer to us, we
make sure that you
long term. Like if you're gonna have your 9-to-5 job that's not gonna change, you're gonna come and see us, but you're gonna be able to live with your 9-to-5 with the breaking and whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that we are a permanent part of your life. We will sort you out, help you, and then you go out on your own and be comfortable to do it on your own.
So that the issue is not persistent.
So it's all about education, trying to teach the person muscle memory, all of that.
How to sit properly, how to actually pick up something properly. Don't pick it up with your back. You actually squat down to pick up something. But I mean, even for people who are old, it's very difficult because the mindsets of my people are not like, ek moet opstaan en gaan oefen nie. Or it's not like that. And I became so discouraged about it because in my community, I really wanted to actually implement something like that. But there's no resources for you.
Yeah.
Because then it gets too political. Then you're stepping on too many people's toes and it's not going to work out. So the only way to combat any sort of problem is you're going to have to like have a group or something where you can actually physically exercise these people. Okay, we're going to meet up here 6 o'clock tonight. We obviously have to do it
projects. Definitely community projects is the way.
It's going to have to be like that. But I mean, changing the whole way of how people have been living for the past 20 years, it's difficult because you can spark an idea, you can plant the seed, but if they don't have the means to do that, then what is your position? And that's where you become discouraged. You're like, why do I see this auntie at the clinic sitting here all day waiting for a sugar tablet? She's going to go home and eat bread and tea with 6 spoons of sugar to actually take that tablet. I've seen it with my grandmother. I've seen it, and till this day, she's still taking all those tablets. where if we just all grew up differently, okay, maybe not differently because I appreciate how I grew up, but you know what I mean.
Just have that background and
Just have
knowledge
that background of PE is not just a subject in school where you're gonna exercise for an hour. It's actually you must make it part of your life.
So if I were to say to my son now, dude, I don't want you to eat sugar that much.
No, you can't just say you can't eat sugar. You just slowly but surely you're gonna you're gonna be.
Does he exercise? Does he play sports?
Yeah, they force him to exercise at school. That is once a week.
But it must come from him at the end of the day. Then you can say, then he on his own will be able to take that sugar away from him.
No, the thing is, I spoke to the reason why I'm asking is I had a conversation with my wife and I said, look here, I think we must start him like now already, so he's not so dependent on sugar because it's addictive. And she was, nah, it's unhealthy to take it. Not unhealthy. It's like it's wrong to do that to him. You're spoiling him basically his childhood because it's part of sugar.
Man.
Rather talk to him, educate him, and then make it his decision, his choice.
Because look now, you are the one that has that. So it's in his family history now. So he's gonna continue on the road that you did. He's also gonna end up like you.
Yeah. I wouldn't say completely remove it, but limit it or replace it. So you use your natural sweeteners, your molasses, your honeys, etc. And then more fruits.
Stevia.
I'm not too. I don't like it too much.
I also don't like that type of things. But
Why not?
all I'm saying
Fruit is your natural sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fruit cup. He's an apple cup.
And that can give you just as much energy as a energy bar.
But people are so quick to like, oh my word, I can't eat bread now. I must stop eating sugar now. And then 2 days you lost, and the next day you're like, your body's craving bread, man, you know? So don't do something drastic. Small changes lead up to long-term solutions.
So just a last question from my side. So you guys have now 2 videos up. You're getting a lot of traction on that. Where to from here for you?
So, I mean, we started on Facebook. There's obviously so many other social platforms to target now. So we want to make our way through there and see what happens. Yeah.
If we can get the majority of people to actually use these videos without us being half naked and stuff, it's actually purely educational. I mean,
that was.
I was like, what?
We were fighting.
I'm sure you had clothes on.
We were like, okay, everyone that's doing workout videos is either half naked or something, and they're getting all this attention.
Yeah.
Where we're sitting with this knowledge, with
we
these
have
things and
education
stuff.
behind our name.
And we got unemployed, and we were like, what are we gonna do with all this knowledge? And we're just like, let's just tell people what they have to know about themselves.
No, but I want to commend you for doing it. When I saw it, I thought to myself, yo, this is the because it's like sinnige skelery. En ek ook so nou moet geskelery you know, but when I saw your video I was like, yo, we need more of this on this platform, man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for making a turn here and having this
Thank
conversation.
you guys for having us.
I was kind of an ure praat geloof van my.
No, it was surprising. It's like, yo, this thing's cool.
Just go.
A lot of turns.
But if you guys ever feel you want to come back and let me know, man. I might even ask you guys to. If you have maybe any other friends that's in a different
like a dietitian or physio or someone to come.
No, definitely.
Okay, awesome.
We might even have a challenge. Myself and he was talking about it. We weigh ourselves and then.
Like a 21-day sort of.
Or maybe even and then we challenge each other, have a prize and stuff.
We're gonna go into a debate now because you can't use the scale. You have to use measuring. You have to physically
we can do that.
yourself.
Waist circumference.
You're going down, bruh.
Because the scale lies. That's all.
I was curious. But the thing is, the scale. If you're doing weights,
that's the thing. You're gonna pick up a lot of muscle.
So we should measure the fat.
That's why you must use the
fat percentage,
the circumferences.
But I do it here. You're not here.
Why
do it here? I try to avoid this area. Anyway.
Are we?
So who doen ze intros? Charlie doet het normally. To play the beat, I think. Anyway, Nantal. See you guys next week.
Shaquille, we got Adrian here, and thanks to Kirsten and Calandra.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys.
Cool, man.
Peace.
Normally we keep the headphones on, but each one to their own.